Greetings, math fans. All right, so this is day 2 of chapter 1, and basically what we're doing is just learning the calculator, the TI-30X2S. This is the calculator you need to buy. So if you're looking for it, it's at Walmart. It's like about 12 bucks, 10, 12 bucks. You can get it on Amazon. In fact, I just saw some pink ones on Amazon if you want pink, but they were like 8 bucks. For Amazon Prime. So that's really not a bad deal. But this is the kind of calculator that you really need to get for this class, and it's going to do a lot of different things. Unfortunately, I don't have a calculator here just to show you as opposed to just a picture of it. But I'm going to like point to things and highlight things and show you what to do. So let's kind of get going here, okay? So one of the first things is kind of important is the use of parentheses. Okay, so if you had a problem kind of like, let's say 5 minus 3 plus 2 plus 6, something like that, what you're going to do is you're going to basically use the parentheses, and I'm going to kind of highlight it right over here, but this guy right here, these are your parentheses right there, right a little bit to the left of the multiplication sign. But you're going to use the parentheses, and I'll tell you, if you type everything in the way you see it, you will not get anything wrong. Okay, if you literally type in parentheses 5 minus 3, close parentheses, plus 2 plus 6, close parentheses, you will not get anything wrong. Everything is good. Okay, so if you see parentheses in the problem, use parentheses on your calculator and you're good to go. All right? Okay, so let's just look at a problem here real quickly. If I had like a division problem, like 8 minus 4 over 2 plus 3. Okay, remember guys, this guy right here is division, right? That's division. So you have to put it in parentheses. You can't type in 8 minus 4 divided by 2 plus 3 because it's going to divide 4 by 2 and that's not going to be right. You need to do parentheses for these problems. It's really important. So you have to have parentheses and parentheses. So you're going to type in 8 minus 4 divided by 2 plus 3. And then you're gonna get the correct answer. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you some tips on how to do some of these problems. Okay, so lots of parentheses, and if it's like a fraction like that, make sure you put top in parentheses and the bottom in parentheses. Square roots. So real quickly, let me just show you where the square roots are. Basically, square roots are here. But you see how that's above the x squared? So what you need to do is you need to push this button first. So if you hit second, that gives you all those features above the key, above like the x squared, okay? And so if you see that, you should see right here, there is a square root, okay? And that's how you want to do the square root. Now obviously I can't show you because this is not a working calculator, but try it. You guys should have a calculator with you and give it a shot and try things out. But that's basically your square root button. It's kind of nice, okay? You also have your squared button, which is actually this guy right here, right there. That's squared. You're going to use that a lot. If I want to cube something, okay, I'm going to use this little up arrow guy right here, that. So if I want to type in 3, let's say 3 to the 4th power, or 3 cubed. So it's right, 3 to the 4th power, or 3 cubed. That's what you're going to put in there. You're going to use that little up arrow button. And if there's a negative, let's say it's negative 2 to the 5th power, you're going to type it in just the way it is. If it was negative 2 to the 5th power, make sure you put parentheses in. Okay, always follow exactly what they have on a quiz or test or homework, okay, with parentheses, and you're going to be good to go. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Again, just with using using the calculator and using some of those buttons, and just practice on it. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the fraction button. That's actually a really awesome button. So the buttons you're going to use are this guy right here. So I'm going to actually highlight the whole thing that you're going to use. So these 2 buttons right here are the ones you're going to use. So it says PRB and then A, B/C. Those are the 2 buttons that are going to help you with fractions. So hopefully you've got calculator with you, and you can kind of follow along. So the way you do is you type in, if I want to type in a fraction, and let me just give you an example. Let's say I have 2 1/3 plus 3 and let's see, and a half. See, so 2 1/3 plus 3 1/2. Really easy. In order to type a fraction in, you are going to use this button right here, the ABC button. All right, and the way you do it is try it as you go along here. You're going to type in 2. It's going to give you this little symbol. Then you type in and 1. Hit that symbol again, and 3. Okay, it's going to look kind of weird, but that is 2 1/3. That's typing it in correctly. And then you're going to say plus 3, little symbol. It should be a 3 here, or sorry, a half, right? 3, and then a 1, and then a 2. And then you hit equals. Okay? And so and then you get your answer, and then what's going to happen is it's going to give it to you as a mixed fraction. Okay? And guys, remember, a mixed fraction is basically A and BC, kind of like that. Okay, so for this problem, it's going to be, let's see, 5. It's going to come out to be 5 and 5 over 6, and that's a mixed fraction. And it's what it's going to give you as an answer. Now, if you want to convert that to, so I'm going to erase this little guy right here. If you want to convert that to an improper, so that's a mixed fraction. Improper is like 10/7. It's an improper fraction. Mixed means it's mixed. It's got whole numbers and fractions. So it's 5 and 5 6 is a mixed fraction. Okay, but if you want an improper fraction, which is just a complete fraction, then you're going to hit second ABC. Because actually, let me erase this. If you notice, the second does this. That's the top part. Okay, and see how it says A, B/C, convert to DE? That's converting it into an improper fraction. So if I had, my answer was 5 and 5 6, and if you convert that, you should get 35 over 6. Okay, and then go ahead and push it again. Hit second, the ABC again, and that'll convert it back to 5 and 5 6. So it'll go back and forth. You keep hitting second that button, enter. Second that button, enter. Second that button, enter. It'll keep going back and forth between an improper fraction and a mixed fraction. It's really pretty sweet. Okay. Okay, so practice with it. Learn a little bit, but it's really pretty easy to do that, and just knowing how to enter that. And if you want to enter in 35 over 6, you type in 35, hit that ABC, so 35 and 6, and just hit it. That's it. 35 over 6 is, that's all it is. 35, little line like that, 6. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about the button above it. And that's this guy right here. So it's the PRB, but it's really the F to D. That stands for fraction to decimal. So if you typed in 1.5 and I hit that button, it will give me it'll tell me it's 1 1/2. Okay, it's kind of nice. It converts a decimal to a fraction. Okay, and then you can use this button again. So second that and turn that into a mixed fraction or an improper. So 3/2 if you want. Okay, so that F to D, is fraction to decimal, and that gives you the 1.5 to 1 1/2. Or you can go from 1 1/2 to 1.5. It's either way, it goes back and forth. You can keep hitting it and it goes back and forth. And that button below it, the one, this guy right here that we've messed with already, this guy right here, that changes from improper to a mixed number. Okay, back and forth. All right. So that's kind of it with fractions. Just kind of practice it, and you guys will be kind of good to go here. Okay. All right. So what I'd like to do now is the last part of the homework. It says evaluate. Okay, evaluate. So let's. So the deal is with that one is if I give you 2x plus 5y, and I tell you x is 3 and y is 7. Okay, basically when you see a variable, so when you see a variable on your calculator, after what you're going to do is you're going to write it down here, but when you see a variable, you're going to use a parenthesis. That's key. When you see a variable, you're going to use a parenthesis. So in other words, I'm just going to write this out before I even type in my calculator. This is what I'm going to do, like that. Okay, then I'm going to put the numbers in, 3 and 7. And then I'm going to type it in my calculator with the parentheses. 2 parentheses 3 close parenthesis plus 5 parentheses close 7 close parenthesis, and that's it. Okay? So you should get, in this case here, it's 6 plus 35 or 41 is your answer. Okay, it's pretty easy, but exactly the way you see it is the way you are going to type it in your calculator. Okay, so if I look at like one of the homework problems, so let me just kind of move this down. I'm going to move this down a little bit so I can I don't need to show you the calculator anymore. One of the problems is one of the problems in your homework. It looks like this: 3 parentheses a minus 2b plus 3a b c, and a is 2, b is -1, and c is -2. So basically what we're doing here is we already have a parenthesis here, so no big deal. So 3 parentheses. Now I'm just going to put a 2 here because there's nothing to multiply, nothing to do there. But I'm going to say minus 2 parentheses, and b is -1, plus 3 parentheses, a is 2, close parenthesis, b is -1, close parenthesis, c is -2, close parenthesis. And then you close that parenthesis because this needs to be closed with that one. Okay? So you're going to type this exactly in your calculator. So go ahead and try it right now. Just give it a shot. Type it in your calculator. And I'll give you a minute here. Well, you can pause it, but I'm going to pause it, so type it in though. Okay, so actually I just paused this, and I typed this in my calculator as well, and I'm just kind of checking it, double checking. I put all those parentheses in, and good to go, and I got 48. So is that what you guys got? I hope. Okay, but it looks like a complicated problem, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff there, but boy, you just kind of type everything in the way it's supposed to be and put in your calculator, and you're good to go. Okay? So anyway, that's kind of the deal with the calculator. If you guys have any other questions, just come talk to me, or you can even look up YouTube videos on the calculator as well. But it's a pretty good calculator to have, pretty inexpensive and pretty durable, and it's got all the features you want, especially the fraction button. Okay? That's it, math fans. Have an outstanding day. Adios. Goodbye.